Hello.
That was somehow even more deflated than the first time.
Hello. It's Friday and we just want a nap.
Welcome back to our 6th episode for our 2024 subscribers we have now. Thank you for joining us and commenting and being cool people. How do you do, fellow internet peeps? Which story do you want to start with?
Well, we can start with the TikTok that you were talking about earlier, or we can just go through the list.
Oh, yeah. So I had seen this TikTok. I first saw it as like a response stitch with the original. The response was basically saying like, hey, this is not the hot take you think it is. I think you should delete this. But the original TikTok was this straight woman who went out with her friends and they happened to go to a lesbian bar. I was a little unclear as to whether her friends were lesbians or not, but regardless, a bunch of women at a lesbian bar. And then they had a straight male friend who joined them.
Supposedly the male friend was only there to meet up with them and like they were going to go somewhere else maybe. I don't know, but
then her story starts to fall apart a little bit because like supposedly he was just there to like say hi and like drop by. But then according to her, very shortly after he showed up, one of the lesbians was like, hey, like this is not...
What are you doing here?
Yeah. To me, that sounded a little suspicious because it's like, how is he hanging around long enough for someone to just like
him? Walk up and be like, who are you? Like there's not people there like staring at all the new people that are coming in through the door being like, are you straight? Do you belong here? It's like,
right.
You know.
And also, like, how did everyone else know that he was straight? What was he doing to like indicate that he's clearly a straight man in what is very obviously a lesbian space?
She even mentions that there's gay men there. So it's like, how do you differentiate between the gay men and the straight men? Like,
right. How is he acting? Them. But anyway, this straight woman who's making this TikTok is very offended at the fact that her straight male friend was made to feel unwelcome in a lesbian space. Which, by the way, like it's worth noting that there's quite literally a handful of lesbian bars across the entire country.
Like there's so few spaces for queer people to feel safe anyway. And so like to have people who are straight and depending on like how this guy's acting, like, you know, to feel unsafe in the space that's supposed to be for you just doesn't make it. It's like, yeah, of course they're not going to be very welcome to like a straight person being in a gay bar or a queer bar, a lesbian bar specifically. Like there's a difference between like a gay bar and a lesbian bar because there's more gay bars than lesbian bars. Because like I think even in San Francisco, some of them are like shutting down. Like there's not as many as there used to be. So yeah, so since there's like a limited amount of places where queer people and queer women can go to be in their community and not be ostracized, not be ogled, not be like harassed by other people. Like, yeah, that's for them. That's their space, or that, you know, our space. Yeah, to have some other straight people just waltz in and being like, hey, like, yeah, of course it's going to be weird and it's going to be, you know, people aren't going to be happy with that because like, just go to a normal bar. You know, there's probably one that's down the street. Like, go meet your friend at a normal bar. Like, you know.
She also made the point, like, she as a straight woman, she's been to gay bars all the time and she's never been made to feel unwelcome. You have to acknowledge historically the way that men actively intrude on sapphic spaces has been such an issue that tends to not happen in reverse. It kind of reminds me actually of an experience that I had when I was single and I had like just come out. You know, I was like, let me dip my toes in the party scene a little bit.
Can't relate.
You're more of an introvert than
I know. I'm a mega introvert. I'm like
you are. I'm an introvert who has episodes of extrovertedness. You are just an introvert through and through. You are like 100% introvert. I'm like 85-15. I was looking for like queer sapphic events specifically. There's this one event that was happening at this club and it was all queer women. And so I went and I had a really nice time. Again, I don't really go out. So when I do, I have fun. There was this guy who was dancing with me and I didn't even think about, I just assumed that he was queer. Like I just assumed that he was not just queer, but like predominantly interested in men. We're at a lesbian event in a queer space. So it didn't occur to me that he would be flirting with me as a woman. I just thought, like, here's a gay man who likes to dance. And if someone wants to dance with me, I'm down to have fun and, you know, enjoy time with whoever. But we were dancing and it was a fun time. And then all of a sudden he like starts to get physically, aggressively flirty with me. And I was really surprised because, you know, like, I'm here, I'm a woman, like here at a lesbian event. This was specifically like a sapphic lesbian event. Like, I'm not here to hook up with a guy. If I wanted to hook up with a guy, there are so many other places I could be right now on a Saturday night. I'm not. I'm here. When he started to get like handsy, I was like, I immediately stopped and I just like left him. But yeah, that watching her TikTok, it kind of reminded me of that, where it's like, context clues. Hello, we're not here for you. We're not here for guys. We're here for other women. Like, I don't know why that's so hard for men to understand.
It's like that meme, that bird meme. It's the birds' right activist.
Yeah, it's exactly the energy.
It just kind of reeked of entitlement. Just the whole TikTok, just everything about it. Like, I've been to gay bars all the time. Blah blah blah. It's like, well, yeah, because you know you're a white woman who, you know, fits in those spaces. It's different, like going into men's spaces versus, you know, women's spaces.
There's not this history of women walking up to male couples and being like, so my friend and I want a da 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 da, or like, you're too handsome to be gay, or like, you know, you just haven't met the right woman.
You haven't met the right woman. Yeah.
You know, and they're like, oh my God, you and your boyfriend are so hot. Can I watch? Like, there's not a history of that. Straight women, they may, you know, commit microaggressions against their gay friends, versus with men, there's a more active intrusion into sapphic spaces. And there's a more active, I belong here. I belong in the bedroom of a lesbian couple. You know what I mean? There's a more sort of active entitlement to the connection between two women. No, I'm trying to think of a way to like, I could like wrap up. Be respectful. Recognize when a space isn't for you and be respectful. That's it.
Should we get into our first story?
Yes. Do you want to read it?
Okay, so this one is from r/lesbian actually, from Imaginary Ferret 420. The title is My Girlfriend Hates That We Have the Same Interests. And it says, basically what the title says, my girlfriend 20 likes squishmallows, which I, 22, also really like, but she hates that I like them because they're her thing. However, when it comes to my interests, that's fair game to her. I quite enjoy mini brands, and she's decided that she also now likes them and wants her own collection. I'm fine with that. I told her that we could even collect them together, which she loves the idea of. She got into Pokemon, Animal Crossing, and Stardew Valley because of me, which again, I'm fine with. I'm not upset that she likes my interests. In my opinion, that just gives us more to talk about, more in common. What upsets me is that she gets very upset and angry when I like her interests. A few of her interests I do enjoy, I liked before we even started dating, and now it's like I have to pretend I don't like them just so she won't get upset at me, which sucks. She also tries to say that it's fine because she liked those things before we met, which annoys me because when I say that I also liked some of hers before we met, but she says they're still her things. I just don't know what to do. I'm at a loss here, so I was wondering if anyone has any advice. I've tried talking to her about it, saying that it's not really fair for her to find loving, and now it's confusing because there's no commas. Well, that is just a weird sentence.
Okay, I think what they're trying to say is that it's not fair for her to love and partake in my interests, but then find the reverse unacceptable.
I can like your things, but you're not allowed to like my things, sort of
right.
Thing. Okay. I really love her, but I hate us arguing all the time over this and a handful of other things. She gets upset when I'm not always happy. I'm normally very upbeat, so if I'm sad or stressed, that makes her mad.
That's a red flag alone. I mean, just so many red flags.
Or her calling food I like disgusting is okay to her. But I can't say I think anything she eats is kind of gross. I don't want something as small as things like that to ruin our relationship, but it's like I have to walk on eggshells around her. Yeah, that's none of that. None of that is good.
She's not ready for a relationship.
When you start like gatekeeping your own interests and like not allowing your partner to like the same things you do, it doesn't make any sense. Like, it would be like if I were to be like, oh, I want to get into makeup, and you're like, no, that's my thing. Only I can wear makeup in this relationship. Or like
if I was like, oh, I kind of want to get into Legos, and you're like, no Legos for you.
No, those are mine. Only I can get Lego sets. But no, it's like, no, buy more Lego sets so like you can put them together and then take them apart, and then I can put them together. It'll be fun. Or we can put them together.
It's like a preschool, like, you know, when the preschool teacher has to be like, okay, what do we do with our toys? We share our toys.
Right? It's just like this person doesn't sound mature at all. It's like they just don't have the mental or emotional maturity to be like, hey, it's okay that you like the same things I do. And like the OP said, like it would give them more things in common, more things to talk about. So I don't see the problem.
I feel like that's one of the like most fun and beautiful elements of a relationship. And this goes for like friendships, romantic relationships, whatever, is getting to enjoy and like share the parts of your life that the other person may not have explored. If you're reading a book that they haven't read, being able to like talk to them about it and, you know, spark their interest in it, or a game, or like, yeah, any sort of hobby, you know, cooking or whatever, like getting to like teach each other. I know I'm a Gemini moon, so that's naturally what I love, but but like honestly, like that's any healthy relationship is going to have some element of that.
Like, I was insecure when we first started dating that we didn't have a whole lot in common. And like, that's okay too. Like, if you don't have the same things in common, that's also okay. When we first started talking, it's like, you're like, I watch YouTube videos. I like makeup. I watch all of these shows that you don't watch. I like very specific particular movies that you don't like. And I was like, oh no, we have nothing in common.
Okay, to be fair, I don't think there's a movie I love that you don't like. I think
because I'm not as hard to please as you are.
That's my point. There's the stuff you like, and then there's the stuff I like.
The stuff I like.
The stuff I like. Yeah, exactly. So anything I like, you will then like any movie that I like, you'll watch with me and you'll be like, that was a good movie. And I was like, I told you.
Unless it's Nemo. I didn't like Nemo.
Well,
not Finding Nemo, but the other Nemo.
Yeah, the weird one. In my defense, I don't like it. If I saw it as an adult, I wouldn't like it. In my defense, the reason I liked it as a child is because I like horror, but I grew up in a really like religious family. We didn't really watch horror movies. And also I liked a specific type of horror that like as I grew up, I kind of understood better. There are very few kids movies that have scenes that fulfilled that type of horror that I like to watch. It has a very like frenetic energy.
Like, knowing your upbringing, knowing your parents, I'm very surprised they let you watch that.
I don't know how that happened. Like,
your parents who didn't acknowledge the existence of dinosaurs.
Yeah,
I wouldn't let you watch like Land Before Time. They would let you watch Nemo.
I wasn't allowed to watch Land Before Time because my dad is very against the idea of dinosaurs existing because he's fairly religious. I wasn't allowed to watch dinosaur propaganda as a child. But I was
no dinosaur chicken nuggets for you. No dino nuggies. No. They have to be the normal boring circle shapes.
I was allowed to watch a lot of just like weird stuff that definitely traumatized me as a child. But yeah, no dinosaur propaganda though. I was saved from the dinosaur propaganda. That movie does not match up with my adult taste. It's just that I was starved for the kind of content I enjoyed. And so that was the closest to like what I would have enjoyed. The Courage the Cowardly Dog is like a perfect example. But I didn't discover that show until I was a little older. Like Courage is like a perfect example of the horror that I would have like loved as a kid, but I didn't know that existed. So
it kind of boggles my mind what kind of shows they allowed children to watch. Like Ren and Stimpy, that was like the grossest show. And like
That was
on
a show.
Nickelodeon.
In my parents' defense, I wasn't allowed to watch shows like that.
Okay, that makes sense because they're disgusting.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
like, how did that air? I don't understand how that aired on those shows.
I don't know. Yeah, kid shows were something else. So yeah, most of what I watched was educational. So it'd be like nature documentaries, Magic School Bus. And then as I got older, there were like certain sitcoms that were deemed like clean enough. So like Sabrina the Teenage Witch was a formative show. The Nanny was another formative show.
They allowed you to watch a witch show?
Well, yeah, because it was cute enough.
Because like witches, I guess, are like more of a anti-Christian thing, but your parents were Jewish, so it's a little bit different.
Yeah, and like my dad is like Jewish and Christian, but also like, yeah. And so the show was complicated enough. Yeah, the show was cute enough that I was allowed to watch it.
It's it's a very like young adult show where they have like a talking cat and like they don't really do like evil spells and stuff like that.
Right. It's not like demonic. It was fine. It was more of a sitcom about like quirky teenager navigating high school. But also, I grew up in a house where we also never played or listened to music. So it was an interesting experience.
Right. I forgot.
Anyway, I don't know how we're half an hour and we went through one story.
Am I reading it?
I don't know. Do you want me to read it? I can read it.
When I have Reddit on me, like my screen gets really bright and it makes me white.
It's like the mom from Arrested Development.
Yeah, with her on her license, make me look as young as possible. Just like, no wrinkles. So just like
Anyway,
I keep alt-tabbing to it anyway, so I can. It doesn't matter. I can read it or not.
Okay, so this is in r/wedding shaming by username Shift Gold. Title is Weirdest Declaration of Love Ever That Made Me Want to Hide. At this wedding I've been to, the groom and bride just seemed so disconnected, and the speech delivered by the groom had a very off vibe. So there was a section where the groom had to give a speech, and it was basically a list of complaints. He was like, quote, "At first I thought you were a cold person when I met you, but turns out you're not just like that to me. In fact, you're cold to everyone else." Here's another one.
Oh.
Yeah. "You're so hard to please, but that is because you're a perfectionist with many demands."
Are these supposed to be compliments? I don't understand.
I don't know. It's like, and then the last one that they
your
give
feet smell.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Period.
Period.
"I guess if other men met you, you would have scared them off within a week. I don't think anybody else other than me can stand you." Sir, why did you propose?
Oh my god.
Anyway, we were all waiting for the twist that made the entire speech, but it never came. Yes, there were the standard thank yous and I love yous, but the earlier comments about her being an ice queen made it super awkward. Not to mention, even the cameraman was commenting how embarrassed / uninterested the bride was. At one point, he jokingly said, "You guys know each other, right?" Whenever they started to gravitate towards the bridesmaids / groomsmen and away from each other during photo taking. The photographer would make that comment every time during the photo taking process that the bride or the groom would kind of go to their friends. Would not
like be together. They wouldn't, the two of them weren't together.
Yeah. The MC also tried making the whole ice queen comment into a theme to make the situation less cringy. There's a comment here, the top comment by Thunder Turdy. They say, "This just reminded me of the time we had a weekend away for a friend's birthday, and we were playing some card game. I think it was called We're Not Really Strangers. And the question was, quote, what's a quality about me you like? And my friend's response to her husband was, quote, you're really selfish and you always put yourself first. And I like that because I don't ever have to worry about you because you have yourself handled." It got so awkwardly quiet you could hear a cricket fart. My friend's husband was understandably confused and annoyed the rest of the night, and she really couldn't understand why. To her credit, he really is a self-centered person. I think she was trying to make a positive spin on it, but it clearly didn't land.
Another comment down below that's talking about a TikTok that you sent me. That's also like the guy on a TikTok video who had a 2-sentence vow, and the second line was, "I promise to always smack that ass," or something along those lines. Like you're at your wedding saying your vows, and that's what you say, question mark.
Yeah.
Like, Or that was another one where they sent me. He said like I don't have anything written down. Like I don't have any vows. Like you know.
Like what? Like how? Why are
Why
you
are
here?
you getting married? Exactly.
Yeah.
Why are you there? You know, your wife is probably putting in all this effort, you know, into her wedding, right? Writing her vows, getting ready for it. You probably had to slap on like a. He's probably wearing jeans. Is probably one of those guys who's wearing jeans to a wedding. Like she has to get her hair done, get her makeup done, and like get ready and just like presentable. And then you show up in jeans and a cowboy hat.
There's all this planning that goes in. Like there's all this effort and planning and inviting people.
He probably did nothing.
And figure out the seating for everyone. Oh, I'm sure he did. No, getting the dress and all of that. And like, yeah, why are you? And yet us gays get the reputation for ruining marriage. Like,
right?
Straight men have that handled. We don't.
Ruining the sanctity of marriage. That's us. I have never seen one single queer person talking about smacking their spouse's ass in their vows.
No. I've never seen a single queer person be like, I don't have anything prepared. Like,
or like I guess I like you enough to marry you. Like, sure, why not? You know, like,
yeah, like they could have gone with the traditional vows. Like, they didn't have to not have anything prepared. They didn't have to write their own vows. They could have just said, oh, we're going to do the normal vows. Like, they opted in to write their own vows, and then he just didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he just opted out completely. Like, he opted in and then just fully opted out.
And you see so many of these stories, why
would he propose? Like, how would that even happen?
Yeah. It's like, you know, it's like that proposal story that you told me, where like they were on a hiking trip, whatever. It was her birthday, something like that, and so they went hiking. They went on a trip or somewhere. And
I think she was expecting him. TikTok. I think that was a TikTok I was telling you about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So she was expecting the proposal all day, whatever, and it never came. And so she's upset. You know, she's crying a little bit. They
were in separate canoes for some reason, and
that's right. Yeah,
she was in one and he was in the other. And they were fishing, or I guess, I don't know, maybe they're just chilling. And like, she was just like quietly crying because like at the top of every beautiful like peak that they got to on their hike that day, she was like, okay, this is going to be it. Like, he's going to propose. This is going to be the moment. He didn't do it. And so now it's at the end of the trip. It's sundown. They're in the canoes and she's realizing that he's not going to propose on this trip. And so she's quietly crying. And then when the canoes like pull back into they dock the canoes or whatever, and then he goes over to his truck and he pulls out a ring. And do you remember what he said to her?
He tosses it to her and says something like, this should make you happy.
Yes.
Like what are you doing?
I would have taken it, shoved it into his mouth, and walked away.
I would have thrown it into the lake that they were in. Like, you know, it's probably cost you like $10.
No. You know, well, that's true. Okay. I would have okay, one of two things.
Depends on how much the ring was. Like, if it was an expensive ring, I would have taken it, pawned it, and then used the money on myself.
Absolutely. But you're probably right. He probably went to like some like, I don't know, Sears or like Marshalls or something and just like grabbed a ring and then just like, that's done. You know those like gumball machines where you put in a thing and you get a plastic ring?
It was probably a ring pop. It's probably a ring pop in a ring in a little ring box.
In a little ring box.
Here you go. This should make you happy.
Oh my god!
It's sugar and it's a ring. It's exactly what you wanted.
Exactly. It's here's dessert.
Like, yeah, like why do some people get married? I don't understand. Like, do they think, oh, because we've been together for so long, so why not? It's like the next step, right?
But like, how? Let me rephrase that so that I can just cut out all my rambling. Like, I know that I've always been at the extreme of like, I would much rather just be single than be in like a wrong relationship. But still, there are so many perks to being single. How do you experience all of that freedom and then end up in a relationship that is that? You get engaged by way of, I don't even know what to call that.
I'm going to send you another meme. So there's a meme of a guy. It's a cartoon. And he's just like throwing up his hands and it's just like, I guess. So that's basically what this is. It's like,
yeah, exactly.
Sure, why not? I guess we'll get married.
Right?
That's the next logical step.
If that's how he proposes, like, how does he handle Valentine's Day? If that's how he proposes, how does he handle their anniversary? If that's how he proposes, like, how do you suffer through that? And just because you see all these TikToks of these straight women, they'll talk about their husbands or boyfriends just being absolutely unhinged toddlers. And then they'll just be like, marriage is just wild. Or like, relationships, what are you gonna do? And like, it's like, honey, that's not a relation, that's a hostage situation. Get yourself out of there.
Do you need help? Blink once. I'm pretty sure a lot of straight women need help. So like,
straight women do need help.
Like, send us a comment.
They need, okay, you know how there's like Queer Eye? So there needs to be where like you get an overhaul of like your closet and your like home and like your whatever.
And your boyfriend.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
Relationships.
there needs to be like a sapphic version. It's just a bunch of queer women going into straight relationships and just being like, you go to therapy. We're going to help you like just be single for a while and just learn your worth. Do the Queer Eye thing, but for like interpersonal relationships.
Are you even happy together? Like, you know, like,
do you even like each other? Like,
exactly. It always comes back to, do you even like each other?
I think it's related to the popularity of these shows where the husband kills the wife or the wife kills the husband. Because I think that's like a fantasy for more people than they want to admit. You can just break up. You can just end things.
Let's weigh these options. Break up, or be in a happy marriage for however long. Probably have kids because that's expected, and then your kids are going to grow up in an unhappy household. So like you're creating generational trauma, or just be single for a little while and find someone else that works.
It's a lot better than ending up with a man who vows to smack your ass and nothing else.
Also, like saying that in front of your friends and family, like, do you have no shame? It's like the same thing, like, you know, when they just want to be the center of attention. So I think some of them do this on purpose. So, you know, like the ones where they smash the cake in their wives' faces.
Yeah.
They just want, like, they're acting out because they want to be the center of attention.
Yeah. Toddlers.
Even when, like,
they're toddlers.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So, like, their wife specifically says, don't do this thing, this one thing. I don't want you to do this one thing. And then they do it.
Yeah.
Like,
it's
why?
Go to therapy.
Why?
Like, go to therapy. Learn how to be a functional adult by yourself.
Please.
as an individual. It reminds me, we've just recently seen Josh Johnson live, which, by the way, if you have the opportunity to see him live and you like stand-up comedy, please go see him. He is hilarious. We literally laughed at every single punchline. We were cracking up.
I cried laughing at least twice. And I don't really do that often, so.
And I'm very picky with comedy. I'm
very picky, period.
Especially with comedy. And I've never, ever seen a set, even like a 15-minute set, where every single punchline has made me laugh out loud. His was it was over an hour. It was supposed to be an hour, but we were a good crowd. And so it was closer to like an hour and a half. Every single punchline hit. There's like a clip, not from this particular performance, from a different performance. And he's like, you know, I'm at that age where when I have a friend who's like, I just don't get women, man. It's like, that's an indication of like a personality issue with you at this point. You need to have like a bed frame, not just like a mattress on the floor. Like you need to have like chairs, like not just like the foldy ones, but like actual chairs. Like you need to,
not just beanbags.
Yeah, exactly. Like you need to be a functional adult.
He said something about his joke was like, you know, if you just have your cereal bowl on the ground and a girl comes to your house and sees it, they're gonna think you're gonna kill him. Like that's like that because like she's not obviously gonna be there for a long time and you're not obviously there for a long time. So like murder's on the on the recipe.
It's on the roster for the day.
Eat cereal, put bowl on floor, murder. Okay, this next story is from Rude Yogurt 3012. Am I the a-hole for not wanting my girlfriend to post a TikTok making fun of me? My male 20 girlfriend, female 21, and I were going out today and I saw a little bird that I thought was cute. I took out my phone and recorded it, telling my girlfriend how cute I think it is. She recorded me telling her that and recorded the bird.
So he took out his phone and recorded it.
She recorded me.
And then she recorded him doing all of that.
She then posted the video on TikTok and wrote, "New ick unlocked." I saw it and got mad at her because I don't like being made fun of like that. And she told me to relax because it is just a TikTok trend. I told her to take it down, but she didn't for a while. I got mad at her and she finally took it down, but called me a party pooper and is ignoring me right now. Am I the a-hole?
Absolutely not.
No.
That's so inappropriate and so
like even if it's a joke, even if it's a trend, and just saying like, you know, there's a new ick of some of your boyfriend or your partner just doing something cute that they think that they like, you know. It's like, it would be like if I put together a little Lego set or whatever. Going back to Legos. It's my only hobby. If I put together a little Lego set and brought it to show you, and then you made fun of me for it, and like posted it on the internet for other people to see, that's the thing.
Yeah.
One thing to make fun of them, a whole different thing to post it on the internet for everybody to see.
She's like, being ick. She's the one being ick. Even if you like in the various video games that you play, and I get all the names confused because I don't play any of them. I unfortunately
World of StarCraft,
Baldur's Farm of War. I don't understand any of the games that you play, but if you left a voice message for me or like recorded a video of you accomplishing something, anything, I would be like, yay, I'm so proud of you. I don't understand anything on the screen, but I'm proud that you accomplished something that I know is hard. I don't know how to do that, but I know that it's hard and I'm proud of you for accomplishing it. There was like some psychologist who like studied relationships, and he was like, this is like the best determining factor of whether a relationship like has staying power or whether this couple is going to break up. And it's literally this exact situation. Basically, when one partner makes a sort of offering, and the like, it can be small or big or anything in between. It can be something as simple as, look at that cute bird. It can be, you know, as big as like, oh, I made you, you know, a 5-course meal. It could be any sort of offering where you are asking for your partner's attention in some way. And the way they respond determines whether that relationship is going to last. So if they look up and they're like, oh my God, that is a cute bird. Or, you know, if they show appreciation for the meal that you prepared for them, if they acknowledge that and they respond in kind, then you are going to last as a couple. And if they do, I mean, it doesn't even have to, what she did was really extreme. If they respond basically like, oh, who cares, whatever, like stupid bird, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You guys it's not going to last. And this is taking it to the next level, because the fact that she not only is so dismissive, but she has such lack of self-awareness that she proudly posts herself being so dismissive. The fact that she sees his sweet little bid for attention, which is something that, you know, we do all the time with each other. The fact that she sees that as an ick, like that says so much about her.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you want to pause and turn on a light? It's starting to get darker.
Like that?
Mm-hmm.
And then I just look more yellow.
Yeah, well.
But
I mean, so do I, because like this coloring is not great. I look pale. I look sickly.
Oh my God. Do you remember?
I look like a small Victorian child. Do
you remember?
Mother, I feel unwell. Uneasy. If Morgan, if you watch this video, I think about that often. Like, Mother, I feel uneasy.
It's become a meme between us.
Yeah.
I think I told you when I was a little kid I had a speech impediment, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You never know, given how much I don't shut up now. Okay. You know what we could talk about that's cute? Oh, what was that TikTok that I sent you? It was really cute. It
Which
was
one?
like the
You sent me so
boyfriend.
many.
I know.
You sent me like 40. One time you sent me like 90 something, and I showed you a picture of like, I took a screenshot of your name and like, you know, because it shows you how many messages you got from the person. So it was like 90 plus.
There's this really cute TikTok, and it's this guy, and he's like, you know, as if someone else is saying to him, like, you don't have to do all that for your girlfriend or whatever. It's like, yes, I do. Yes, I do. I love her. She's my girlfriend. Like, he just like gushes over her. And he's like, she makes my whole body go awooga when she walks in the room.
That's how you should feel about your partner. Like,
yeah.
they should make your whole body go awooga. Like,
yeah.
You know, you should actually like them.
Yes, exactly. Like, they should be adding to your life.
In closing, I want to point out that you got your G Flip poster.
Wait, I need to turn the other way.
So if you saw last week's,
there they are.
If you saw last week's episode, we talked about Eden's crush on G Flip.
I'll have you know that I ordered a print of the photo that I took of you on, what date was that?
The LP concert. That's
right. It was like earlier that day. Like that.
I just remember it was in a Safeway. We were in a Safeway parking
lot. Safeway. It was right next to a Jamba Juice, because I remember buying you a Jamba Juice.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And before the Jamba Juice, we went to Safeway for something. And then that's where I saw the ice cube trays that looked like boobs. And so I poked you and I said, boobies.
Which, yeah. Oh, that made me die laughing. That was, yeah.
We're like, I can't take you anywhere. And I was like, no, you cannot.
Yeah. I think we bought one of those, too.
We
I
did.
think I have it in my
booby ice
cupboard.
Cube trays. Yeah.
I haven't used them. Well, have I used them?
We need to
use it.
Yeah.
Next time I make myself a boba, I'm going to use it.
Perfect. Booby boba.
Exactly. We're adults. You and I are adults. My dad pointed out my white hairs earlier today, and I was like, thanks, Dad.
Listen.
Thank you so much.
White hairs are attractive. You're going to be my silver fox.
Well, it looks cool when it's all silver, but when you have like one or two like strands, like the short ones that just like stick up like this, like, come on. Like, really?
Well, okay, I'll help you.
You're just going to stand up like that?
Those I'll help you pluck.
Oh, thank you.
Unpopular opinion, but I think when women have long hair and it's all just fully silver and gray, I think it looks downright ethereal. I think they look like ethereal beings that live in starlight and then just come down to earth and walk among us. I think women with silver hair look awesome. I secretly hope that when my hair turns silver, then that makes it easier to dye, because years ago, I would bleach my hair and then dye it fuchsia, and I loved it. I got so many compliments. If you're a sapphic out there and you want to like stop the attention from men and you want more attention from women, dye your hair an obnoxious color. It's not going to repel all the men. You will occasionally still get some weird compliments, but you know, that's just being a femme in the world. It works like, you know, the animals in the wild who are like brightly colored. Same idea. You have brightly colored hair, so the majority of the weirdo creeps will leave you alone. And the compliments you will get from children, grandmothers, and other queers will make your day. Absolutely make your day. I just don't want to bleach my hair because like bleach isn't good for your hair. So I'm hoping that when my hair goes all silver, it's kind of a win-win, because I'm hoping that that lighter color will take colors like fuchsia, bright purple, bright blue I want to do at some point. Like I'm hoping that it'll take those colors without me having to bleach beforehand. So I want to be running around an 80-year-old with fuchsia hair. That's my goal. On that note, thanks for joining us.
Go dye your hair. Repel the men.
Okay, bye.